I am totally losing my mind right now because they just announced two very big pieces of gaming news back to back. PlayStation is buying a new studio, which I feel like is going to influence the future of PlayStation, and a new Witcher game was just surprised revealed. Now, I want to dig into both of these stories because they're so crazy, but also I'm just so hyped. What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here. Now let's begin by talking about The Witcher because holy heck, not only am I a big Witcher fan, I love the video games, I love the DLC, but also that I love the TV show, I love the books, and anybody who's really dug into the entire universe of Witcher knows that things are actually being hinted at very specifically. But let me take a look at it. So this is over at thewitcher.com, and as you can see, this currently has 0 comments. This news just broke, and I want to try and break it down because this first sentence here, I feel like is signaling something that I want to talk about. We're happy to announce that the next installment in the Witcher series of video games is currently in development, kicking off a new saga for the franchise. Now here, I actually think that they're going to be retiring the hero of the Witcher games. Geralt is probably about to go away. The hero of Rivia, as much as we all love him, as much as he can be a brutal badass at times, as much as he is a charismatic charmer, I think they're probably going to try and focus more on Ciri going forward, just because of that phrasing. Also, this picture of his very famous white wolf symbol sitting in the snow, I kind of get a feeling that they're going to be passing the torch, but we actually get a little bit more of details here. This is an exciting moment as we're moving from the Red Engine to Unreal Engine 5, beginning a multi-year strategic partnership with Epic Games. It covers not only licensing, but technical development of Unreal Engine 5, as well as future potential projects. Now, this is interesting. Their primary goal is to try and help tailor a perfect open world experience. This is saying something very specific, I think, which is the fact that everything in the past has been made by CD Projekt Red on their own specific engine, obviously called the Red Engine. Them trying to shift over to Unreal, I think this is them admitting that they screwed up. Sometimes a lot of CD Projekt Red games have launched a little bit broken, a little bit unfinished, a little bit overly glitchy. I mean, and that's being nice. I think that this is them finally saying, all right, let's go to somebody else's engine that's perhaps a bit more tried and true. A lot of the early talks specifically about Unreal Engine 5 have been extremely positive. It sounds like it's probably going to become the predominant game engine. It sounds like the one that everybody's going to want to use for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X games, and obviously this next generation of graphics cards. Going into 4K, Unreal Engine 5 is probably going to be the go-to system. But look at this. At this point, no further details regarding the game, such as development timeframe or a release date, are available. Red Engine technology is still being used for Cyberpunk 2077 and its upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 expansion. Now, this is definitely saying that they are working on whatever this next Witcher game is, but separately, I guess they're saying that there's split teams. People are working on new content for Cyberpunk, and a different team, however much is, a hybrid of Epic Games employees and Cyberpunk employees mixed together with CD Projekt Red. It sounds like this is a big merger of ideas to try and make, this Witcher 4 in 5 years. Like, that is the only part of this, is the fact that they talk about this multi-year strategic partnership. I do feel like this is probably a very, very long way off. But even the fact that it exists, to me, I can't help but be hyped. Now, on the other side of the coin, let's talk about this weirdness that's going on at PlayStation directly. So they just announced about an hour ago the fact that Haven Studios is joining the PlayStation family. Now, in case you don't know who Haven is, this is actually somebody that's directly very influential to all of video games. This woman is called Jade Raymond. Now, even if you don't recognize her face or her previous projects, she is somebody that has been very, very important. She is directly responsible for the early Assassin's Creed games. She was a producer and a director on a lot of those early great Ubisoft projects. Remember when Ubisoft games actually had storyline and good gameplay and not just 8 billion flags on a map? That is, in very large part, because of Jade Raymond. Now, here's where things get a bit strange. inside their talks right here, this is like the official thing on the PlayStation blog. I want to look at her statements, but first, this sentence right here really caught my eye. Jade Raymond brings a wealth of experience from her industry achievements and an infectious passion for creating games. And the leadership team at Haven is an equally impressive group of industry veterans. Now, typically, when you're acquiring a studio, there's two different styles of acquisition. You're either buying somebody because they have a lot of employees that you like, basically, you want their foot soldiers to join your army, or the other aspect of it is typically like, okay, you guys have IP, you have intellectual property, you have franchises that we want to purchase. Like when Microsoft bought Activision, they did that because they want to own Call of Duty, right? They're doing that because they want access to those series and to try and weaponize them, you know? Well, I think that this is sort of both, but here's where things get a bit strange because Haven just started. Haven was founded 1 year ago, and already somebody is trying to swoop in and purchase them. Now, they talk about the fact that they've made amazing progress in that first year, and I guess that's probably true. They talk about the fact that they're trying to unlock creativity. They're on track, though. Like, here's where they talk about the game that they're making for PlayStation. Our first new IP for PlayStation is on track to deliver a AAA multiplayer experience with a vision to build a systematic and evolving world focused on freedom, thrills, and playfulness that will keep players entertained and engaged for years. Now, this is saying something very, very clearly to me, which is the fact that there's been all sorts of leaks that basically PlayStation wants to have big games as a service projects. They're tired of just dropping God of War or Horizon or something that's going to be very, very profitable, but then it sells and then stops. PlayStation likes the idea of having something like Fortnite, something that's going to make billions and billions of dollars over time. Now, it seems like what's actually going on is that PlayStation is trying to buy more studios that are going to work on that. Obviously, recently we had the purchase of Bungie. Bungie is the creators of Destiny, and it seems like PlayStation wants that style of efforts. They want to make sure that everybody is constantly coming out with updates, patches, season passes, content, just pushing out stuff like that. Now, I am conflicted about this. I am of two minds. I guess I'm not completely against the idea of games as a service projects, but so many of them have been so incredibly bad. Like even good studios like Platinum Games teaming up with Square Enix to make Babylon's Fall. This came out just a couple weeks ago, and the game is completely dead. The game sucks. I mean, more than anything else, it just completely blows chunks. But it makes me think sometimes if you're constantly trying to worry about the next patch, the next updates, the next time you can sell people skins, games as a service projects are by necessity not as complete. They're not as polished. They're not as full of a package. And even the best people, even somebody like Jade Raymond being directly involved with this, doesn't stoke my curiosity and hype as much as a clean, big single player project. Now, I do want to say what I find kind of fascinating is that going back to the idea of this CD Projekt Red thing here, a lot of the tweets that people are actually replying is they're saying, I'm not going to ever trust CD Projekt Red ever again. Like the fact that they're actually talking about this is probably just the fact that I've seen some rumors and some leaks basically saying the fact that right now there is a lot of people that are stopping their investments in CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red is actually losing billions of dollars in stock. I think that's part of the reason they're announcing this could be to try and boost their company value. It could be they're trying to just grab attention, grab headlines, and restore that player confidence. I think this is interesting. Both of these stories are very, very big, and I feel like they're signaling the fact that this next generation, things are changing. Games are going to be bigger. Games are going to be more interactive. Games are going to be a lot more permanent. At least these studios hope so. But what do you think? Are you excited for the future of PlayStation? Are you excited for Witcher 4 or Witcher the new saga, Witcher series? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a giant thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. This is kind of crazy. Man, another Witcher game. I'm ready for it, baby. Give it. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.